Hello everyone. Hello children. Today we are going to study about the structure of matter children, in which we will study about the symbols, formula, how to balance the equation, valency and atomicity. So let me start with symbols first. Okay. We use symbols to represent elements. Okay, a compound is represented by formula. A compound is represented by a formula which contains symbols of all the elements, which contain symbols of which contains the symbols children of all the elements present in a molecule of that compound. Okay, a compound is represented by a formula which contains symbols of all the elements, which contain symbols of all the elements present in a molecule of that compound. Fine children. Now children, some elements are represented by using the first letter of the name of that element. First letter children, as if it is a example carbon. So the first letter C is the symbol for the carbon children. Now name of some elements have the same initial letter. If we talk about calcium, so these two are same children. For example, carbon, calcium and cobalt. So what happened in these cases children? In such cases the first letter is taken in capital. First letter is taken as capital. Okay. Together with, from its name, a small letter as in next one it is calcium. This is the symbol for calcium. This is the symbol for carbon. And if we talk about the cobalt, then CO is the symbol for the cobalt children. Okay. The symbols of some elements are derived from their Latin names. This was about the symbol children. Now let us discuss about the formulae. Okay. Now what is it? We know that a molecule of water contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Okay, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. The formula water should therefore contain symbols of, which symbols are there children? It is hydrogen and oxygen. Fine children. It should also show the number of atoms of each element in a molecule. So we write the formula for water, it is H2O. The formula for the water is H2O. Now if you take one molecule of ammonia containing 1 atom of nitrogen, you have taken ammonia. Okay. Now how to explain it children? 1 atom of nitrogen. Here it is 1 atom of nitrogen is there, and how many atoms of hydrogen? 3 atoms of hydrogen. Fine children. So what will be its formula? For the ammonia it is NH3 and 1 atom of nitrogen and 3 atoms of hydrogen. Okay, children. Now, this was about the formula. Now, children, in some compounds, two or more elements act together as a single group. Okay. What does they do, children? In some compounds, two or more elements act as a single group. Act as a single group. Two or more elements act together as a single group. For example, in sodium sulfate. Now, if we take an example of, let us take an example of sodium sulfate, Na2SO4, children. What is it? Sodium sulfate. Sulfate represents, this is, children, sulfate. This is sulfate. What is it, children? The sulfate represents which group? It represents the sulfate group. What does it represent, children? It represents the sulfate group. What I have said in the starting, in some compounds, two or more elements together, what does they form? They form a group, a single group. Now, in this, it is a sulfate group. Sulfur and oxygen are there in this group, children. Now, let us discuss about the nitrate group. Nitrate. Now, children, about the nitrate group, NaNO3. So, this is a nitrate group, children. NO3 is representing the nitrate group. Okay. Now, come to the next topic, that is atomicity, children. The atoms of some elements can exist independently, children. Examples are helium or neon. Okay. They are known as monoatomic elements. Their chemical formula is therefore the same as their chemical symbol, children. As what is their symbol? Helium, neon, helium. So this is their formula and this is only their symbol. They are monoatomic elements. The atoms of many elements cannot exist independently in nature. They form molecules containing two or more atoms, children. For example, molecules of hydrogen. Okay, molecules of hydrogen. What I have said, children, there are certain atoms of many elements. They cannot exist independently in nature. So what does they do? They form molecules containing two or more atoms. So it is hydrogen. Molecules of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, they all have two atoms. How many atoms? They all have, children, two atoms, because they are unable to exist independently in nature. They form molecules containing two or more atoms. Here also two atoms are there. In the nitrogen also, children, two atoms are there. So what are they known as? They are known as diatomic. What are they known as? Diatomic, children, elements. Okay, then children, thus hydrogen represents a molecule. This H2 represents a molecule of hydrogen. So the number of atoms present in a molecule of an element, what is it known as? This is known as atomicity. Now what is it known as? That is known as atomicity. Now if you see this P4, okay children, so what is atomicity? The number of atoms present in a molecule of an element, that is known as is atomicity. So in phosphorus, what is atomicity? 4 is the atomicity. If we talk about oxygen, what is its atomicity? 2 is its atomicity. The number of atoms present in a molecule of an element, that is known as atomicity. Now children, what information does a formula give? What information does a formula give, children? So the formula of a compound tells us the types of elements present in the compound. Okay. The formula tells us how many atoms of each element are present in the compound. Okay, and the formula represents the molecule of the compound. The formula represents the molecule of a compound. If it is written 2H2O, children, if we have to represent 2 molecules of water, so what do we write? 2H2O. What we are representing? 2 molecules of water. This is 2 molecules of water. Okay children. Now let us come to the next one, that is valency. Now valency. Okay, what is it children? The valency of an element or a group denotes its combining capacity. Okay, combining capacity. Okay, the valency of other elements groups in the number of hydrogen atoms which can combine with or be replaced by one atom of that element or group. We take the valency of hydrogen is 1, children, and there is a variable valency. Variable valency, the certain elements show more than one valency, they are known as variable valency, as in the case of nitrogen, sulfur. Sulfur is having 2, 4 or 6, nitrogen may have 3 or 5. So these are the variable valency. Now NH3, what is it children? This is ammonia. NH3, it is an ammonia. Formula is NH3. Now its composition children, 1 atom of nitrogen combines with 3 atom of hydrogen. And what is its valency? Valency of nitrogen is 3. The valency of nitrogen is 3. Okay. Now let us come to the next topic, is writing a formula. Writing a formula. We can write the formula of a compound if we know the symbols of the elements groups it is made up of, the valency of the elements groups it is made up of. So we can write down the formula children. Now how to write down, what are the steps involved? Write the symbol of the element or group side by side. So if we have taken an example of ammonia, so the elements in ammonia, the elements in ammonia, it is nitrogen and hydrogen. The elements in ammonia are nitrogen and hydrogen. The valency of nitrogen is 3. The valency of nitrogen is 3 and that of hydrogen is 1. So we write them as N3 this way, children. So write their valency on the top as superscripts. As superscripts. Fine, children. Then what? Divide by any common factor in their valency. But in this case, we are not having any common factor, so we don't have to divide. Now interchange the numbers. Now interchange the numbers obtained and write them at the base as subscripts. Now write at the base as what, children? At base as subscripts. Okay, so what is it? This is the interchanging of the valency and writing them as subscripts. We get the formula NH3. This is the way we are writing the formula, children. Now if we have to write the formula for a aluminium sulfate, okay. Now what is it? It is made up of aluminium and sulfate, children. Okay, the valency of aluminium is, what is the valency of aluminium? That is 3, children, and the valency of the sulfate is 2. So what we will do? Al3SO4 2. Now what you are doing? You are interchanging it, children. So while interchanging, what it will be? Al2SO4. What we are going to do, children? SO4 3. So it is aluminium sulfate. This way we write the formula for aluminium sulfate. Now let us come to the next topic, that is the chemical equations. That is chemical equations, children. Okay, let us start the topic now. Chemical equation. A chemical equation shows the result of a chemical reaction in which the reactants and the products are represented by symbol or formula, children. Now in a chemical reaction, between the reactants and the products is placed the sign as if this is iron plus sulfur is FeS. These are reactants, children, and these are products. And what is it known as? The reactants are written on the left hand side of the arrow and the products are written on the right hand side of the arrow. Okay, so in this represents the chemical change in which iron reacts with sulfur to form iron sulfide. Between the reactants and the products is the place the sign, this arrow, or equal to also we can put, children. An important requirement for writing an equation is that, children, the number of atoms of each element on the left hand side should be same as on the right hand side, children. Okay, now so how to balancing the chemical equation. Now how to balance this equation, children? Now balancing the equation. So we can take balancing the equation. So what you can do, children, the first step in balancing an equation is to count the number of atoms of each element on both sides of the equation, on the left hand side also and on the right hand side also. Now let us take one example, as for example reactants X and Y2 reacts to form a compound XY. X plus, children, it is Y2, it reacts to form a compound XY, children. Okay, the word equation for this reaction would be this, children. Now you have to balance the number of atoms of elements X and Y in the above mentioned equation. Okay, now how to do the balancing, children? Now you can see, children, here you can write down, here it is element. Okay, now what is the element over there, children? X and Y are the element. Now you can write the number of atoms, children. Okay, in both the case, number of atoms, here also number of atoms. Fine, children. Now here it is left hand side and here it is right hand side. Okay, now you can see, children, to what it is X and Y. Number of atoms in the left hand side. How many atoms for the X? 1. For Y it is here 2. Now here in the right hand side, for X also 1 and for Y also it is 1, children. So to balance the Y on both sides, multiply RHS, right hand side, by 2. So what we did, we multiplied the right hand side by 2. So now here it is 2xy. Okay. What we had done, children, to balance y on both the sides, we multiplied RHS, right hand side, by 2. So now the equation is x plus y2 is equal to 2xy. Fine. Now the number of atoms of y is balanced, because now here it is 2. See, this is 2 for y and here also it is 2. But for x, now here it is, children, what it is? Now it has become here 2. Now the number of atom y is balanced, but the number of atoms of x. Therefore multiply x on the left hand side by what you have to do? By 2. Thus the equation becomes now, what will be the equation when you are multiplying the x by 2, children? So 2x plus y2 is equal to 2xy. Now here also what is it, children? 2. Now the number of atoms for the x on the left hand side and on the right hand side both are equal. For the x also 2 atoms are there, here also 2 atoms. For y also 2 atoms, here also there are 2 atoms. Thus we can say this is a balanced equation, as the number of atoms of x and y on both sides is equal. So this is the way we do the balancing of equation. Okay, now let's do one more example, children. Let's do one more example. Okay, one more example we are doing. as if the word equation is magnesium plus oxygen. Okay, this is the arrow. What are these? These are the reactants, children. Okay, now what the product is formed? That is the magnesium oxide. This is the product. Okay, fine, children. Now this is the word equation. Now again replacing the names with symbols. So what is it? Magnesium plus oxygen is equal to magnesium oxide. Okay, now what you have to do? Now you have to see the number of atoms in left hand side. This is your left hand side and this is your right hand side, children. Number of magnesium 1, number of atoms in oxygen 2, here magnesium 1, here oxygen 1. Okay, so are they balanced? No. Now you have to balance the equation. So multiply right hand side by 2. What we are going to do? We are going to multiply the right hand side with 2, children. So now it is 2 MgO. Now what is it? 2 MgO. Now what happened by this equation now? Mg1 oxygen 2, Mg2 oxygen 2. But still magnesium is not balanced. So what you have to do? The number of oxygen atom is balanced but the number of magnesium atom is not. Therefore multiply magnesium on the left hand side by 2. Then what will be the equation then, children? Then the equation will be 2 Mg and here will be 2. So the number of atoms will be 2. So what is the equation? 2 Mg plus O2, 2 MgO. This is the balanced chemical equation, children. So this is the method of balancing the equation. Thank you so much.